Hey yo, what's poppin' everybody? It's your boy Sheet Double G, and today we finally got Master Vow the Disciple raid difficulty. And in this video, I'm gonna go over all the frequently asked questions about adept weapons and adept drops, and also teach you guys everything that is different from normal to master mode and how to go about completing it. If you guys are having trouble completing it or need a team to help you complete it, I'll be doing Master Vow the Disciple helps over at my Twitch channel all week to help you get your adept weapons and to get your triumphs so you can get the Vow of the Disciple seal. So let's just jump in with a few frequently asked questions so that way you can decide if running master is even worth it for you. So we'll start out with the biggest question that I know everybody has is, are adept weapons worth it from the raid? The answer is, well, it depends on you. Crafting your own regular ones become more beneficial to you if you want to pick your exact roles, but the adept weapons from Vow of the Disciple raid comes with 4 perks. They come randomly rolled and you can buy them over and over again. So it will be cheaper than crafting, but they don't come with enhanced perks. So whether they're worth it or not is up to you. Is it worth the neutral element grind? Is it worth doing this once a week on each character? It depends on you guys. To me, I don't think they're very worth it, but they look really cool. Question number 2, can you craft adept weapons? No, you cannot craft adept weapons. You can get them with red borders, but when you complete them, they don't even complete your normal patterns, let alone any adept patterns that aren't in the game. So for that reason, those red borders aren't worth it except for materials. Do adepts drop in every encounter? No. I know from what the TWAB said, it seemed like they would, but they don't. They only drop from the challenge and they drop randomly. So what weapon you get will be random. The thing is it's on a knockout mode or a knockout system in which you won't get the same weapon twice until you get all of them. So I guess that's nice. And yes, a weapon drop is guaranteed. Do secret chests drop adepts? No, absolutely not. You would have people going to the entrance and all 3 characters trying to just get rolls for free. Yeah, secret chests don't drop adepts at all. If you guys got any more questions, make sure to ask them in the comment section below and I'll answer literally every single one of them. So now we're going to go over all the differences between normal and master and how you're going to be able to complete each encounter with the changes. Let's talk about entrance. In entrance, nothing's changed. There's no added shields. There's no differences in the abominations. Everything's the same. The secret chest still drops normal loot. It does not drop enhanced loot or adept loot or anything like that. Everything is exactly the same from normal to master, just their power level is at 1580. So now let's talk about first encounter where the changes begin. The first change you're going to notice is that wraiths have solar shields. This is a change that's going to happen throughout the whole entire raid. Wherever there's wraith, there's going to be solar shields. Match game didn't matter too much here because the volatile rounds was just cutting through the solar shields, but another good weapon that you can use is Empty Vessel. Empty Vessel with blinding nades helped me kit the shields out and it helped me control the ads the way I wanted to, so that way they couldn't overrun us and get to our obelisk. This weapon was also helpful because the Taken Knights now also have solar shields, so using this also blinded them and took their shield out. But at the end of the day, you can just Gallahorn in this whole encounter and everything will just die. And the other change that you're going to notice is that the Scorn Glyph Keepers are now Overload champions, so you're going to need Overload rounds for this encounter now, and you didn't need them before. Other than that, you still have your Unstoppable Abominations, and you play this encounter out exactly the same as you would on a normal. It makes sense to have your Defender throw on Unstoppable and have your Runner throw on Overload, so that way you guys are evenly matched on each side. But what I did myself is I had an Unstoppable hand cannon and then I had void overload grenades and I just ran both. Also remember to run lucent finishers so that way you can always make heavy ammo for you and your teammates, so that way you will never have to worry about heavy ammo during this whole encounter. You're definitely going to want to strap on Gallahorn with the catalyst on this one because shooting 2 Gallahorns after you stun them is going to kill the champions every single time. This week, the first encounter is the challenge, and the challenge is just to kill all abominations within 5 seconds of each other. If you want to learn how to do that challenge, you can watch this video with the link in the description below, but we don't do anything different from what I do in that video. We just take it slow, take it 1 pillar at a time, and then kill 2 abominations at a time instead of spawning 3. After you beat this encounter, you'll get a guaranteed armor piece with a focused stat drop. This week it's mobility. And you'll also get an adept weapon at random, one that you have not gotten before because this is on a knockout system. So if you already got one and didn't get the other, then you're more likely to get the other ones. All right, now it's time for the caretaker encounter. And honestly, there's not much different with this one. The main difference here is that the two snipers that spawn on the left and right of the map are now overloads. The wizards are of course stronger and more aggro inside the runner's room, and then of course the caretaker hits harder because we're all under leveled, but there's nothing else that's new other than the overload champions. On top of that, damage is just a little bit more tighter because we're under leveled, so bring your best DPS weapons. I use Izanagi and Rocket Swap with lasting impression, and other people still use Sleeper. It's still viable. We also had one Titan that was on Bubble and then another Titan that was on Banner Shield. Both of the ad clearers had Lucent Finisher on as well as Special Ammo Finisher, so that way I can make ammo for my team over and over and over again. Each floor will never run out of ammo and we'll never have to worry about damage. So if you or your teammate who's taking care of the overloads are running these two mods, you guys should have zero problems with this encounter. Now, enjoy your guaranteed armor drop because adept weapons do not drop from anything that is not the challenge. Congratulations, you've made it to third encounter, and this is probably the hardest encounter that you're going to have in Master Vow the Disciple. So let's go over the changes. So you already know about the Wraiths. All the Wraiths have fire shields. Now you have snipers. The taken snipers all have void shields. So you're going to want to have some solar and some void. Please note that the laser is not solar, which is the dumbest thing ever. So if you have the laser and you try to shoot those solar shields, you're gonna be there for a while. Just thought I'd give you a heads up. The next change is the Glyph Keepers. You already know that the scoring Glyph Keepers are overload. Now, the taken Glyph Keepers are unstoppable. So I use my same combo that I used in first encounter, which was an unstoppable hand cannon and an overload grenade. I feel like this is the setup that everyone should use because you never know which side the overload is going to be on and which side the unstop is going to be on. You'll also be able to chain orbs and supers so that way everybody has Devourer at all times with the new Void 3.0 mods. Gjallarhorn is an absolute beast here. I can't recommend anything more for your heavy slot, and in your secondary slot I recommend you using something with chain reaction or something with reservoir burst on your fusion rifle because AoE damage helps a ton here. And how we went about this encounter is we made sure we split up into 2 teams of 3 for the first set of Glyph Keepers, making sure we had an even number of people who had a relic and people who didn't have a relic. And then for the second set of Glyph Keepers, we all migrated to one side, cleared that one side, and then went over to the other side. This method helped us ensure that the Glyph Keepers died quickly and that we had ample time in order to read the symbols and shoot the symbols. Also, if somebody didn't have their overload nade, then somebody else will be able to cover them. After completing this encounter, you'll get your guaranteed armor piece, and then you're off to the boss. Welcome to the boss fight. Congratulations, if you made it this far, you basically beat the raid, because there is 0 differences from normal to hard. Well, that's not entirely true, but it might as well be. The Glyph Keepers, of course, are overload and unstoppable, but just like normal, you only need to kill them one time. You get those symbols and you juggle leeching and then you go off to the boss. Other than that, the snipers still have void shields. And that's it. Deal with the Glyph Keepers that are unstop and overload, kill them, get your symbol, kill all the ads with void since you're probably going to be using void anyway, and go about the boss as usual. The boss's health isn't even worse. If you look at this damage phase here, this is how much damage we did in the first phase on Master. Nothing about this fight changes and it's absolutely free. I know some people are upset about this, other people are relieved by this because they probably spent a lot of time on third encounter. I don't know how I personally feel about it, but I always want things to be harder, so this being this easy on Master kind of felt a little disappointing. And that's it. Just rinse and repeat until the boss is dead, and then you collect your loot. In this run, we did do the 3 rooms for the guaranteed red, and the guaranteed red is not Adept, if in case you were wondering. We also were able to buy 1 free Adept, of course, just like any other raid. That one is also not Adept. You can buy any Adept weapon that you did receive, and it does have a chance to drop red, but just like in the beginning of the video, you can't use that red to create any patterns for the non-adepts or for any new adepts. And that's Valve the Disciple on Master Mode. If you guys got any comments, questions, or concerns, please voice them down in the comment section below. And let me know what you guys think about the rewards and the difficulty of the raid. Were they on point? Were they lacking? Let me know. If you found this video helpful, make sure you hit that like button. And for more helpful YouTube videos like this on Destiny 2, make sure you hit that sub button. I've been Sheet Double G, and I hope y'all have a dope ass day. Deuces.